Hi everyone, Rene here with WhyAmIGreen.com, and today is May 19th, and I'd like to show you an update of my urban city deck garden. Now, just so you know, it's still pretty cold. Most of the plants shouldn't be out here. Matter of fact, last night when I went to bed, it was about, I believe, 34 degrees, so we're pretty close to freezing, and I know one of my plants didn't look too good. But anyways, I want to show you everything, how it's progressing, and let's get going. Starting out, here's the tomatoes that I grew from seed. Actually, everything you're going to see here, I grew from seed. Inside, I have a little green room inside the house. So these here are, let's see, right here it says, these are my Roma tomatoes. These are organic Romas. And if you saw an earlier video where I took some Romas and I sliced them up, well, these are Romas that grew from tomato slices. So I actually took a organic Roma tomato that I liked from Whole Foods and sliced it into a fairly thin slice and planted the slices. So these are those. And moving right on over here, let's see, in the front, these here are eggplants, and we have lemon cucumbers, which are these little guys right here. Those are lemon cucumbers. And of course, string beans. And here in the back, I have more string beans. So I got two different kinds. No, actually, I'm sorry, those are Kentucky Wonders, and these, I think this is lettuce that just kind of got thrown into the mix. So I get some lettuce in there too. And down there, it looks like a sunflower plant that just kind of, I think that blew off of my seed. Over here you can see I have some sunflowers in this little feeder. So they blow down and I have little sunflowers growing everywhere like that. And this is a rose bush, and we've had this one out a little bit longer than it, earlier than it should. We had a rose come out, but it looks like the frost got to it. Coming over here, last week, actually it hasn't even been a week, and that's my corn on the cob. I actually have, it looks like I have golden, it is golden corn, and I get the bread and butter or the sweet corn to the left, so kind of a mixture of two. And that's squash on the left. And coming up here in my small greenhouse, I got two of these in the house as well. I've got more tomatoes. They're a mixture of, what are these, Romas, and in the back I have purple Cherokees back there. Now these are some string beans. Look at this one right here. So another one. I've already gotten about maybe 6 or 7 string beans from those two plants there. They're not doing well because they've been out for quite a while as well. Free them up a little. Moving along here. Let's see, on this side, these are cucumbers. They're doing quite well. And then over here, these are new guys I just planted. Those are actually cabbage. Move that down there. So I got quite a bit of cabbage. My wife keeps on saying they're the cutest small plant. Look at that, isn't that cute? And these here are peppers. They're oriental large bell peppers. They're actually red bell peppers are supposed to be. So I'm anxious to see them when they get the big. They're actually growing really fast. Moving down over here. Of course, those are my rain barrels, half filled with water. And coming down here we have, let's see, oh, mixture of everything. This is my cold frame that I built. Remember, we have this in another video showing the cold frame, so I can close that every night. Last night that was full. And in the back, let's see if I can read some tags. Those are vine tomatoes on the back, and that's a problem with my, oops. Those vine tomatoes were also grown from tomato slices. I got a vine tomato from Whole Foods to make sure it was organic. Everything I have is organic. So I grew those from slices. So all the big ones in the back and some of the small ones too. And most of these here in the front are Cherokee Purple. They're supposed to be kind of like a big boy, but they get, I guess, really tall. They're a pretty meaty tomato. And here I got a mixture of some tomatoes and some string beans kind of mixed in. And over here I got more Cherokees. And over here, these are buckets with the holes in them. Are going to be a continuation of my Alaska bucket system, which is right here. Here's how the Alaska bucket system works. The top one, top blue bucket there, holds water, and it sends it down to the bottom blue bucket that has a float in it, and it holds about maybe 2 inches of water down there. And that goes into every one of these other buckets. Right now I only have 6 hooked up to it. You can see the tomatoes are doing quite well in there. I believe those are Romas. Actually, unfortunately, some of my tomatoes got unlabeled somehow, so these got really big, so I think they're Romas because they were out in the back there. I know these two right over here in this grow bag, and you see it's a Walmart grow bag. By the way, folks, those 50-cent Walmart bags work really good for this. Those are my vine tomatoes right there. You can see they kind of like sprawling like a vine. But getting back to the Alaska bucket, that's what that is right there. And those other 4 down there are going to be connected to that. Haven't decided whether I'm going to go off to the left or just take my bucket, put a T, and go down that way. So they're doing really well. Over here I have peas growing, and they're already flowering. I actually just put them in the grow bag. I transplanted them about 3 or 4 days ago, and they were below this rung right here. You can see, I'll go down here. They've been up there about 3 days, and they've already extended over it. And then I have some more tomatoes down there. So this bucket is similar to the earth bucket, where they had the 2 buckets, one inside the other, and they had the PVC pipe going down into the bottom bucket, and I believe they had a 3-inch net cup in the middle of the bottom bucket with a reservoir in the bottom. Well, I took off on that and made it a little simpler using 1 bucket. In the bottom of that bucket I have a colander, plastic colander, and I put a hole in the side so that PVC pipe would go down and actually hold water down on the bottom, so it'll reach the bottom. On top of the colander I'm putting a grow bag, filling it with soil so that plant's in the soil, and I covered it with black plastic to keep the weeds out and less evaporation of water. But by having holes on the side, it also makes it a wicking bag, so the plant will grow faster, have more oxygen, and not get root bound. Now, if you really want to conserve a lot more water, you can do the same system but without the holes in the side. So you use probably, I believe they say about 10 to only 10 or 20% of the water you'd normally use. So with this, you're going to have a little bit more evaporation because of the holes in the side, but we're going to have bigger plants. As you can see, I have 4 more that I'm going to be connecting to this, and they're going to be side by side, the same thing. And how I'm going to have them is I'm going to have a black water tube going on top of all those PVCs, just dripping water inside of them to fill up the bottoms. And I'm debating whether I want to make it an automatic feeder with a float, or if I'm just going to fill them until I see water coming out my little overflow tube at the bottom. If I use like a float, I'm not going to have to water them maybe but once a week or once every 2 weeks, because I'll have a reservoir like the Alaska buckets. But without it, I'll probably have to come out and check the level every day. However, I did fill this one to the proper level, and the water really hasn't gone down much in 4 days. But it is still cold out, so this summer when it's real warm, that might be different. So that's what I have. I hope you enjoyed my update. And remember, if you're not growing, you're not green. Have a great day. Bye-bye.